Welcome to module number 5. So in this module, I want to talk to you a little bit about phone call tips. We've already addressed that in a different module. I think it was module number 2, but I want to give you some additional tips. We have updated the secretary manual. That is the reason why I am also doing this. And then we're going to talk about Medi-Cal versus Medicare, just to give you a basic understanding. A lot of it may not make sense right now, but I promise it will once you start answering phone calls and as we give you input here at the office. So again, the main purpose of a phone call is to make sure that you are able to help the client rather than them or me having to speak to them, right? Because many of the issues are very common issues. So over 80% of the issues, you as the staff is going to be able to resolve them. I want to get as high as 90%. If possible. So that's going to come with the time that you spend and with the experience that you get. The more items are thrown your way, the more things you're going to be able to help them with. But essentially, what we did with the phone call, so a couple of the tips is you're going to answer the phone exactly how it says on the script. Hello, hi, thank you for calling Caesar Associates. This is Cesar speaking. How may I help you? Hey, I need to talk to Cesar. Oh, awesome. Great. Quick question. Have you already been here before? Are you a current client? Did you already sit down with Cesar in the past? You know what? Yes, I am. Okay, let me just look you up real quick. While I look you up, what's the situation? And so sometimes they may not understand that. So you may follow up with, oh, what's going on? So that Caesar can call you back with an answer. What's going on with your plan or with your insurance? And then they're going to disclose, you know what? Well, what's going on is, I'm trying to go to the doctor, but I haven't received my ID card. Great. Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm going to be able to help you with that. Let me just make sure I look you up in the system. So, for example, right now we actually had a situation like that. So again, anytime somebody's missing ID cards, number one, you want to make sure we have the correct address on file. If that address is incorrect, or maybe they have a PO box rather than a physical address, then we want to make sure, number one, we update it in our system. We call the insurance company. Make sure you update the Soho CRM so that it reflects, or you put a note on there. There's a section for notes. Put a note, customer called, updated address on such and such date. Very important when you are answering phone calls. This is one big tip. Make sure you put your initials so that we know who updated that, and who made the note. So make sure you add that in there. So those are some of the basic tips for phone calls. Always be very clear and very concise to prevent you from confusing the person and vice versa. The other thing that you got to keep in mind, many people go off on tangents. They'll start here, they'll go over here, then they'll come back. What you need to do is you need to keep them on the straight and narrow and ask them questions. For example, oh yeah, you know what, I was talking to this girl and the girl told me that this card wasn't good for this because I needed to have the other card. So wait a minute, slow down. Let me get some clarity. What girl told you this? Oh, it was Carmen. Okay, hold on. And Carmen, where is she from? Where did you talk to Carmen, or what office did you talk to Carmen? Oh, Carmen from the doctor's office. Okay. Which doctor? Okay, doctor whatever. That might be their primary doctor, right? So you want to be clear in that story. Don't let people just ramble off because they're going to confuse you. So make sure you always clarify, ask clarifying questions, and also when you give an answer, you have to also be very clear. This is what we're going to do, set an expectation. Well, we have to make sure you get your ID cards. Here's what I'm going to do for you. Let me connect the lines. Hold on the line while I call the company so that you can authorize for them to send you the new card, okay? Also, there is going to be some insurance companies that allow us to order ID cards for the client. At the moment, United Healthcare, I believe, is one, and Anthem Blue Cross is another one that allow you to go into the portal, order ID cards on behalf of the client. So just a heads up, and that's for our Medicare book of business. Okay, so just a heads up there. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be Medicare versus Medi-Cal. Medicare is for people that are over the age of 65 or that have certain disabilities who might be under 65. So for the most part though, most of the people on Medicare are going to be over the age of 65. Medi-Cal, on the other hand, also known as Medicaid federally. So here in California, Medicaid is known as Medi-Cal because of California. And so people can have both Medicare and Medi-Cal, right? So usually when they have both, their primary coverage is always going to be Medicare, because Medi-Cal is always the payer of last resort. Therefore, when they come in here and we sign them up for a plan, whatever plan we sign them up as primary, Medi-Cal is secondary. There are some plans, not all of them, but very few plans right now. Is the only plan that does this is Scan Connections, where it integrates their Medi-Cal and Medicare. If they're on Scan Connections, that just means everything is together. They only use one card. If they are on a different plan with a different company and they have both Medicare and Medi-Cal, chances are their Medicare is going to be with one company and their Medi-Cal is going to be with a different company. For example, let's say somebody is under Alignment Health Plan. Alignment Health Plan is going to be their Medicare, and then let's say they also have IEHP. IEHP is going to be their Medi-Cal, especially when the IEHP card says Medicare, Medi-Cal, Medicare Primary. The confusing part about all of this is that IEHP also has a plan that's named the Dual Choice Plan. The Dual Choice Plan actually it's a Medicare plan, and obviously if they're on the IEHP Dual Choice, their Medicare is with IEHP and their Medi-Cal will probably also be with IEHP. However, for the plans that we represent, because at this moment we're not able to represent IEHP Dual Choice, we normally put them with a Medicare plan, and they can keep either IEHP. The other provider right now here locally is Molina Healthcare. So just a heads up. So I know it's confusing, but again, the thing that you got to keep in mind is there's two. Primary is always going to be Medicare. So those are the plans that we're helping people with. Keep that in mind, okay? So that's it for this module. Ask clarifying questions to the people at the front, to your peers, and that way they can maybe give you some pointers here and there. As you go along, you're going to also get a lot of knowledge from experience, essentially. So thank you.